When everybody is talking,
Hi everyone, so today we'll be making forms and spaces with the use of origami. With this exercise, I was able to experiment with different forms and shapes with unfolding and cutting of the origami, and then this created interesting spaces.
So why origami?
Origami because it's something very simple and very easy for everyone to do. So for the materials that you'll be needing will be an A4 paper to fold the origami, a penknife or scissors to cut the paper, some tape, a human figurine that can be made out of paper if necessary, a light source that can be from your phone or your desk lamp, and finally a paper that will be the base of your model. So for today's workshop, I'll be showing you how to create a paper crane that will help create your 3D space. And you can use any origami that you know. So for the first step, you'll be needing a paper to fold the origami crane. So you want to create a square with the A4 paper. So you want to fold it diagonally like this and follow along the lines to make it accurate.
Like that?
You want to create it more defined so that you'll get better results. Then with the remaining extruded part, you want to fold over inside and follow along the lines. There.
Must it be very accurate or just
You can make it as accurate as possible, so the results will be better.
Okay.
And unfold it and then use a penknife or a scissors to cut it off.
Oops, I cut in a bit.
It's alright. You just continue. Then you want to unfold it and then fold it diagonally on the other side.
Like that?
Yes. Yeah, to the corner. Yep. Then you want to unfold it and then flip it on the other side, and then put it straight as like a square. Yeah. So So then after that, fold it across to create this rectangle here.
Okay. Alright.
Yes. Then unfold and do the same on the other side.
Wait, do it here or do it like that?
You don't have to flip it, yeah. Just
Oh,
this,
right.
yeah. And then fold it the same way.
Okay.
Once you're done, unfold it. And then you want to grab both corners here, like that, with the diagonal folds facing up. And then you want to like pull it up to the center.
Huh? This one?
Yeah, like that. Yep. And then pull it up to the center.
Okay.
Then fold it down. So turn it around and yeah, fold it down.
Oh.
And press it down. So you get this smaller square. So with the like open part facing you, you want to fold this. You want to fold like one flap of it inwards. So this line reaches the center here.
Which part? This part?
Yes.
Like that.
Yep. So this end reaches the center here.
You mind slightly singing, yeah? How?
Don't worry about it. I think
Okay, yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
it still works. Yes. Okay, then do the same for the other side. Don't worry if it's a bit like messy.
So it's okay if it overlaps.
Yeah.
Don't worry.
Okay. Make sure your lines are defined.
Define. Okay.
Yeah.
So as sharp as possible.
Yes.
Alright. Okay.
And then flip it the other way with the folded side facing down. Yeah.
So it's just facing here.
Yes. And then you want to take the end of this and all the way to the, you can see your folded flaps here. You want to fold it down and then create a crease like that.
Okay.
Yes. Then flip it again. And
Again.
yeah, flip it again and then open up your these two flaps and then open up this way. So you separate these two parts
Like that?
and then open. Yeah.
Oh wait.
Yes.
This
Hold it down
hold
and
it
then
down.
open one piece.
One piece of it.
Yes. And you can slowly like flatten it out like that. Because you already have the folded lines, they will
Oh,
follow
okay.
automatically. Yeah. Yep. So you get this like diamond shape kind of thing. Yep. And then you're gonna flip it around and then fold the flap that you folded just now. Turn it around and then flip it up.
Flip it up. Okay.
Yeah. And then do the same thing. So you want to fold in the flaps to the center.
Okay. Must be as tight as possible, right?
Yes.
Alright.
As defined and sharp.
Okay.
And do the same for the other side. So you get the same shape that you had earlier. Yeah, this like a kite shape. Then unfold it and then do the same thing. Open up as you did before. And then fold down along the folded lines you made earlier.
Wait, so it's until here? Or is it
Yeah, hold this down and
one is
then
down? Oh, okay.
yes. So you get the same shape as before. Yes. Yep. So once you get this shape, you have to turn it around first. So you want to turn it around. Then the open parts are facing you.
Facing me, okay.
So you want to fold in this to the center again. So you create an even thinner diamond shape.
Is it like that?
No, the end would have to follow. So this line will follow against this
Oh, okay.
center line.
Like that?
Yeah.
Wait.
And then the same for the other side. And make your lines as sharp as possible again.
Okay.
And then once you're done with that, you want to flip it around. So you get the same shape as you had before. And then do the same thing.
Okay.
Follow the end
Follow
line to
end
the
lines,
center.
alright.
Same on the other side. And then you get this like very long diamond shape. Then you pick it up and then you fold it the other way. So now you have this like 4 flaps, right? So you want to fold it the other way. So this one goes inwards and then you get, it's the same shape but you're gonna flip it around. So like that, so just now it's like this, and you fold it in like that.
Oh, okay. That.
Yes.
But do I flatten it?
Yeah, you can flatten it to make it easier for you. And once you're done with that, you take one end, and then fold up.
Fold up until the line here, is it?
Yes. And then same on the other side.
Okay.
Yeah. So you get this sort of like this kind of shape. Yeah. Then you want to fold it the other way. Again, back as what you did before. And then take the inside part and then pull it out a bit to an angle.
From where?
So from like this
that,
shape,
is it?
yeah,
Both sides?
fold it back to this side. Yeah, fold it back. So you want to fold it like this, and then fold it down. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So in this shape, you want to take one part of the thing
Any
you
part,
folded
right?
inside. No, the middle one.
Alright.
Yeah, and then pull it out to an angle. You can follow this line here
Alright.
for your
Oh, okay.
reference. Yeah. And then do the same on the other side. So pull it out. And then make the lines defined and sharper.
Okay.
Like this, you want to take one side of the pointed out parts and then fold it down. So you want to fold it down like that.
1/4 or just?
Any size at any length you want. Yeah. Then fold it to along the lines, so it's like flatter.
Okay.
And then for this part, which is the wing, you fold it down to all the way to the ends here.
Which means?
To the end where you can't fold it any further.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Same on the other side. And you're done. Yeah, and then you get your paper crane. This is not the end product. So we'll be moving on to step 2, which is unfolding. So this step will be unfolding the paper back to its original state.
Why do we need unfold?
Because with the lines that you've created, you want to make spaces with those lines.
Oh, okay. Okay. We need unfold.
Because with the lines that you've created, you can carefully reverse the steps. So as we mentioned earlier, you can create any type of origami that you wish to, and those different origami shapes will create different lines that will define your spaces. Yep. So you get something like this. Following this, you want to create cut along some of these lines to create a more interesting piece of paper to work with. Then with that, you can create more like different spaces. So for this step, you want to cut along some of these folded lines to create more interesting shapes and forms.
But there's so many lines. Where do I stop?
So you can actually cut at any line you want, but with reference to this activity, I will be cutting along some of these main lines here because I believe it creates more interesting shapes if the lines are much more bigger.
Alright.
So I'll be cutting along this line.
Can I cut like this more diagonal lines, like angular lines?
Yeah, you can, but however, that will create a smaller change when you are creating a form because they are not as big.
Alright. I'll follow your steps.
So it's important to keep it as one piece of paper because you want to create one like final model instead of like it built up of different pieces. So you can continue cutting as much as you like.
What do you think of this? If I cut here.
Yeah, you can cut it there.
Alright. Approximately how many more times do I need to cut?
You can cut to as many as you like,
Many.
but I would usually cut around 4 or 5
4 or 5. Alright.
sides. Yeah.
Let me see. Okay.
So something like this is what you probably want to have.
I have 2 more lines to cut. Let me see. Cut here. Small one here. Alright.
Yeah.
So
And then we can move on to the next step. So you want to grab another piece of paper as your base, and then from here you want to stick down some parts of this paper on the base so that you get like more interesting forms. And yeah, we use double-sided tape so that it won't be as unsightly.
So at which points? Is it like the end points or like any?
You can really stick it like anywhere, but I would stick it near the end point so that they create a more like 3D form.
I think I need to cut a bit more.
Yeah. Feel free to just experiment around and cut more if you want. And then yeah, we can move on to sticking on the paper.
I think that's enough. Would it be alright? I'll put
Yeah.
the bases this way.
Mm.
Okay. Okay. Is it okay if I bend some parts?
Yeah, you
They're
can.
like different heights
Yeah, sure.
of the form. Alright.
So I usually like to create like some sheltered spaces and then some open spaces. So it creates a different kind of experience for like users when they move in the space.
Is this alright?
Yeah.
Should I open it a bit more? Because I guess it's not really that open yet.
Yeah, then you can just cut more
Cut more lines out.
lines and then
Okay. The form seems a bit more architectural focused. Can this be done in interior spaces as well?
yeah. So because since it's such a small scale, so it looks like you can create so it seems more like architectural, but then once you put like human figures inside and then play it with the lighting, you can actually see more in an interior perspective.
Oh, okay.
Then you can make final touches and then you'll be done.
The last piece. Alright?
Yep.
So what's next?
So next you want to put the human figures inside, so you can sort of visualize how the spaces will be. So what you want to do now is to place your mini figurines in your model. So you're really just trying to imagine yourself in the space and then trying to experience the space and imagine yourself in it. Yeah. So I will just place my figurine here. Yes. And you can just look around and see what kind of spaces you actually created and then how they sort of look from the inside. Okay, so from the interior, you can see the different angles and heights of these planes here. Yeah, and then you can also see the different light sources that enters the space, like over here and over here. From the interior, you can see that there are many interesting forms and shapes that you can see, like these overlapping planes here, and then they create different light sources that enter the space.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah. So if you're imagining this in a scale, you can think that our mind could be like a stadium where the people will be really small, and then these could be like seats, and then this is an interior sheltered space. Whereas if it's like a house, this could be the living room, and then on top here could be something like a balcony. So what's yours?
So basically, I wanted to create something that's more intimate in volume and height. So basically, I created an exhibition that's inspired by the car dealership Lamborghini. So you can see the angular formality right here, and this kind of like circular shape represents the wheels itself. And yeah, so this could be like the main entrance of it. And like other than an exhibition, I guess it could be a playground as well, as you can see. So this could be represented as a slide as well, if I can do that. Like, zap, here. Yeah. So basically that's my exploration for now.
Yeah, we create a very fun and interesting space.
Overlapping spaces and like some spaces where the kids can rest here, like sheltered areas, pavilion spaces, and like more intimate spaces where they could like lie down. Yeah, so that's basically what I wanted to explore.
Yeah. So from here, you can really modify to however you like, and then with these modifications, you can create different types of lighting. And then when you bring in your light, so you can see this using your phone or your desk lamp, you can simulate light in the day, in the afternoon, and then the evening. And then like the darker spots could create sort of like spaces for more intimate areas in your room or in your house, like your bedroom or like the toilets and etc. Yeah. And then the brighter would be like the living room or like places you want to study at. Yeah. So you could do the same for yours.
Right. So it's just... Alright, yeah. I'll say mine has more shadows due to it being an intimate space. Lesser on the openness of it, more on the darkness. Yeah.
Yeah, so the entrances are more like well lit, whereas the
Yeah.
more intimate spaces where like children could lie down are more darker and more sheltered. So depending on what you want to create, you can actually modify your model as much as you like. So I personally find this side of the plane a bit too broad, so I'm gonna make a cut here. So like this. Yeah. So I'll fold this down and then like that. I find it a bit more proportionate, and it also allows more light to go in as the plane is a bit smaller. So what about yours?
I think mine is perfect.
Shouldn't be so easily satisfied with your work. You can actually cut along this line. So let me help you.
Wait. Stop it!
Wait.
Why are you cutting? You're destroying my work.
No, like that
Yes.
nicer.
I don't see any. What nicer, man?
Nicer.
What is this?
No, you should just, let me continue cutting.
I think you should stop now. It's a bit too much.
No, like that nicer, like that nicer.
It's gone already, my form. How am I gonna solve it?
No,
How is this nicer?
it's okay. You can always make more.
Sialah leh. Very sensitive, this.
Hi, Lucas and Ariel here. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. So please feel free to ask questions or any queries down in the YouTube comments. And without further ado, we'll be presenting architecture inspired by origami. Next slide. So example one, here you can see is a residential building called the XXL origami. So the rhythmic and repetitive balconies are inspired by origami folds, creating an illusion of a zigzag pattern. And also, as you can see, the floor plan, it shows slightly origami folds as well as how it's very symmetrical. Next. So another example is it's called the pineapple pavilion. So the shape of the pavilion is based on a piece of origami created by two artists. A metal frame sits at its core with a pin fabric, that can withstand all weather conditions. So as you can see, it's very like I said, rhythmic and repetitive, as well as kind of like symmetrical towards its core, its central core itself. Yeah. Next.
Yeah, so as you can see in this building here, they actually have this like double glass facade, and a facade essentially means like the skin of the building. So on the exterior skin of the building, you can see that it actually has this like folded elements of the planes are actually facing different directions, and it gives it a bit more texture. And you can see it's also inspired by like origami, and when it's unfolded, it has these like lines that we showed earlier. And for the next example, you can see this park pavilion here. They actually use steel and glass to structurally form the dynamic folded elements of like an origami. And so they also play with different transparencies. So because you can see some are like opaque, and then some uses glass. So in the daytime, you can actually see like some parts are like more shaded than others, and yeah, it's just a really fun way to like play with different lighting, yeah, as shown in the example before. So other than architecture, actually, as you can see in this slide, there are actually very simple ways to create form with architecture. Just a simple fold can actually create spaces like spaces for like pavilions in parks, and yeah, just like resting spaces for people to use. So in this slide, you can see that other than architecture, there's actually a lot of ways and things that are inspired by origami. So like interior elements, products, like as you can see here, there are like tables, chairs, lamps, and even forms like staircases. There are also like many other like products and elements that we have not like shown, but yeah, basically that is a lot of things can be inspired by origami. Yes. And so with that, we'll come to the end of the presentation. So if you have any questions, you can just leave them in the comments, and then we'll answer them.
Yes.
Yeah, so if you have like any questions about like IAD and like about like the life in IAD, actually there's a lot of videos that I have done that were done before that you can refer to. But if you have any questions, you can like answer them now if you want.
Yeah, you can put it in the YouTube comments.
Yeah.
Don't be shy.
Actually, right, as we said before, we have actually done a lot of explorations that require us to use like basic materials like foam boards and like paper, as we like paper was one of the first few like kind of materials that I used to explore form, and I find that this like origami method is actually really helpful for me. I have in my first year, I actually explored forms using origami. Okay, not really origami, but like my lecturers did like tell us like and help us like experiment with different methods, and I find that this origami method is actually really helpful for me. Yeah. What about you, Lucas?
So for me, other than origami, there was also a method which we did, which was our lecturers asked us to crumple a paper, then to unfold it, and to create forms based on that, like different spaces. So that was quite interesting as well. If you so that's for like year one lah. So year one you will be taught like the basics of like how you can do architectural forms with very simple materials such as paper, cardboard, even plastic as well. So yeah.
Yeah, and you realize that actually like using this paper method actually gives you very cool like textures that I like enjoy a lot. So like I've seen in people's works like they use the paper to uh, like create those kind of rock climbing walls, and then also like manipulating it so that it created a form and then it had the texture as well. So I found that really cool. And besides paper, there's also like we can use we can actually directly use like wood, like balsa wood, which is like this really soft wood um, where we can like create forms that look very like neutral because of the wood material. Yeah, so there's this question that we got. So it says, "I'm not good at art and craft. Can I still do well in this course?" Yeah,
Yes, definitely. Yeah. Cause for the first few modules it'll be more of sketches, and like lecturers will guide you on how to create different forms and like the exploration of forms as well. So it's basically like a guidance, yeah. So don't be too worried if you're not really good at art and craft, because they'll teach you. Yeah, definitely.
yeah. We in the first semester of year one, we actually go through all the basics. So even if you don't have like an art background, or like you're not good at it or whatever, um, you can actually through this course we actually really learn how like design principles and how we can explore with like different types of forms. So um, yeah, you don't have to worry about not having experience in this. Yeah, so the next question is asked about why is form exploration important. So um, uh, because right, like how do you say oh no, I don't really know how to answer this. Lucas, do you?
Okay. So form exploration is important because it expresses the architect's design intention, like how a building can how a form can emulate emotions, yeah, as well as like different moods and ambiances. So it's like the form tells a story of how the designer wants the viewers um to view the entire form itself. Yeah. And also it makes the architecture unique. So like compared to like common buildings you see in like the CBD area, it's something that stands out. Yeah. And once you see this building, you will know that, oh, this is designed by, for example, Norman Foster, due to his use of different very exquisite unique flows and forms of spaces. Yeah.
Yep. So after like creating the form, we will start to like think of how we can like use the form to create functions. So like depending on what the form is built for, like for example, like the pavilion we showed earlier, or like it can be like the residential kind of apartments. We will learn how to slowly like input like the functions of the space and what like each space requires. Yeah.
But this is not the only way to design. There are other ways, and um, there are other ways to design a building or a space. Yeah.
Mm. Yep. So with that, if there aren't any more questions, we this is the end of our like Q&A. So thank you
Thank you for joining
taking,
us.
thank you for taking the time to join us.
We hope you had a wonderful time doing the tutorial itself.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Our world is constantly changing, and how we design our buildings must reflect these changes and still keep in harmony with the natural environment. Are you curious about what it takes to become an interior designer and architect? Do you wonder if this course can help you become an interior designer and architect who designs buildings with spaces that are not just functional but inspirational as well? Hello and welcome to Temasek Poly School of Design Interior Architecture and Design course. I'm your host Faith. Let me share with you what interior architecture and design is all about as we journey through the school. Before you can build anything, you need a strong foundation. Interior design and architecture is no different. In your first year, you'll cover basic foundation subjects like architectural drawing and form exploration. At the end of your first year, you'll apply everything you've learned to make your first integrated studio project design. During your second year, you'll sharpen your skills in both the technical and creative side of interior design and architecture. You'll learn subjects such as material and finishes, construction detailing, and digital modeling. At the end of your second year, you have an opportunity to do projects with growing significance. The projects will be in collaboration with public and commercial client organizations. You'll have the chance to present your work to clients and receive direct feedback from them. Finally, when you get to year 3, you have a chance to do a real industry project for a client. You'll then go for your student internship program where you'll intern for a design company for 4 months, where you'll get first-hand experience on how the industry works. On your return to school, you should be ready for your final stretch in the course. You will personally propose your own final year project, a design project that will be the pinnacle and pride of your 3 years in Temasek Poly. I know it might seem like a lot to take in, but don't worry. The lecturers in IAD are passionate mentors with many years in the industry, and they will be there with you every step of the way in your learning journey. You will join a group of junior and senior students as well as fellow freshmen learning together in this course. If you believe that architecture is a thoughtful making of space, hesitate no more. Come join us at the Temasek Polytechnic Interior Architecture and Design course.